What is good, guys? Behind the Lines 95 piece. Hold the fry. How we doing today? Happy Wednesday. Today's card kind of blows. It is what it is. We got 2 baseball games. We got 1 shitty college football game. We got a bunch of NHL. Had to make a call. Had to get our guy Chelly to come on here for a little bit to go over the NHL slate. All right? It ain't going to be much. But it'll be probably 10 or 15 minutes of my man just going through the card real quick, tempo and pace, because I need to know what the heck I'm betting on today in NHL. I don't know shit about hockey. I just tailed the goats. Last night. Just tailed Vegas Golden Knights in the over. That was Fruity and Chelly's plays, and they both fucking hit. Shocker. Off to a great start from the boys. Super stoked to have Chelly on here today. All right. Yeah, Chelly brought the fucking energy. Oh, there he is.
What up?
In the Jordan sweatshirt. Like that. It's
always.
Fresh.
Always.
Super fresh. Well, happy you can make it. How we doing?
Yeah, I'm a little beat from the last couple of days. It's been a stressful couple of days.
Yeah, you got hit with the sneak test, huh?
I did. Made it out okay.
The worst.
Made it out okay.
It went okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, yeah, let's hope. See, I love to test. If I thought I did well, I did terrible. And if I thought I did terrible, I did well. Makes no sense. I even took test contrarian. Doesn't even make sense.
Yeah. That's.
Oh, man. Well, hockey is our guy hooprun.com's most profitable sport, and he doesn't know shit about it. Oh, and there goes your camera. See ya. Oh, he's back. So my man hoopsrun.com, please, if that's your most profitable sport, don't hog all the place to yourself, my man. Share the wealth. All right?
Of course.
Share the wealth. All right? Yeah, we need prize picks today. We need plays in these 2 baseball games. We need college football plays. Your Marshall boys are playing today. Went back, tried to dig into this game. I just don't really know much about these teams. I do know that Marshall beat Notre Dame, and then they lost 2 terrible games outright that they should have won. Yep. And then last week they bounced back and got a big win. But, it's not really shocking to see teams, after a big win like that kind of fall on their faces. But that was an epic fall. Honestly, Marshall could have been sitting here, 5-0 when they're playing teams like Bowling Green and Troy when they're favored against them. They could be sitting here 5-0, potentially being ranked. So hate to see it. It is what it is. But they did shellac Gardner Webb, I believe, GWB, Gardner Webb. They played them last week, and they stomped them up pretty decently. But they've been under machine this year. They've hit 4 out of 5 unders. Louisiana Lafayette, who's been decent in the past, I don't really think they have much going this year. I think they're playing with a backup quarterback today as well. So that should make it a little interesting.
Kind of, yeah.
They've been an under team as well. They've hit the under 3 of 5 games. They've lost their last 3, but they've all been kind of close. So curious your take on this one. I'm assuming Marshall's star running back isn't back yet. They've been rolling with this other guy who's been decent enough.
Oh yeah, he's been more than decent. So I mean, him being out, while it's obviously a big blow because he's one of probably the most explosive players in the group of 5. It's not really much of a drop off in terms of their offense. But yeah, today's game is super tough to get into because, like you said, they're playing their backup quarterback. Lafayette is, but he's not really the backup quarterback. He's just not the number 1 guy. They've been playing kind of 2 QBs all year. So he's played in every game, and he's a pretty efficient guy, which is how you're going to get at Marshall's defense. Marshall's defense is really good. You're going to have to get him with kind of not with chunk plays. You're going to have to get him with short passes, long drives, get the ball out of his hands quick. So it's tough. I don't really know how he's going to come out. On the other side too, like this is a good defense for them too, but their secondary is pretty prone to explosive plays, which Marshall doesn't have a lot of, but this could be a situation where they get it. The one problem here is the weather, like my man Igor be saying. I leaned over. I want the over, but the weather, it's supposed to be pouring all night. It's looking like, which is 100% the issue. And this total has gone down probably in part because of that and in part because of the quarterback situation for ULL. So it's tough. I'm going to keep an eye on it going up to the game, the weather report and everything, but I want the over, especially for, Marshall, a team their offense isn't that great. They struggle like closing drives, but a Lafayette team who's one of the most penalized teams in college football, and they have that big chunk play issue. They're still a good defense, but those are going to help a struggling Marshall offense. So it's a lot. There's a lot going on. You're going to have to wait until the game.
Okay, we're going to see what the weather gives us.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Well, even if it is a rain game, I mean, Marshall's kind of ground to pound, I feel like, so they could still probably get it done. But I'm with you, though. If it's going to be shitty atmosphere, it might not be the right day for an over. I'm with you.
Yeah, I mean, it won't be a shitty atmosphere. It just will be some weather. This is a huge game for them because this is their first. I believe it's their first home game in the Sun Belt. So they got everybody coming out. They got a blackout going. Everybody's pumped. A lot of people are going to be there apparently.
Wow,
they'll be excited, but if it's pouring rain, that might put a damper on things a little bit.
You keep talking, you're going to make me want to take Louisiana Lafayette. This is their first home game in the Sun Belt. You're getting 10.5 points.
I don't hate it because I think I was looking to initially get in on Marshall, but I mean, with the move across,
it's already moved fucking 4 points.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's too late to get into that. And the thing is, like with the fumbles, like my man B Camp is saying, these are a couple teams that are very prone to fumbling the ball. They both have some significant turnover issues. The problem is if you get it's really where those occur, because like if you have them in your own territory, that's going to be a lot of quick possessions, a lot of good field position. But if they're waiting a little bit to get them, that's going to be kind of an under recipe, which is the scary part.
Yeah, it's definitely weird too that this line even moved this much, because I'm seeing more money on Louisiana Lafayette on DraftKings, on covers, on action. So it's interesting.
I think it has to do with, I mean, like the quote unquote backup quarterback situation. I mean, he's still not their number one guy, but I mean, he's played like enough to merit like a decent performance. And I guess the weather might have a little something to do with that too, being that, like you're talking about, the game script, they're a little more ground and pound and probably built for that than Lafayette is. So I don't know. There's so many different things going on here.
Okay. Yeah, gross game. Sucks that it's the only one on today, but it's a college football game that's on today. So that's why we're digging into it. Trying to find winners. Okay. Anything on the prize picks board in that game that you like? Did you take a peek at it yet or no?
I mean, I took a look. There's nothing really significant. I mean, like Marshall guys getting bumped up while a couple Lafayette guys get bumped down is interesting. Like I can only assume the weather's going to be a factor. Looking at the quarterback, Lafayette's quarterback got bumped down 50 yards over the course of like the last couple of days since he's been up. So it was 160 to 110. So that's why I'm really, really scared to go in on anything like heavy in this game, because it seems like the weather is seriously going to be an issue.
We're seeing the total move down with the money pretty much split on the game on the total, but the total's moved down 1.5 points. So that's not a great sign for the over, obviously. That's tough. Well, maybe it'll clear up. You never know. I mean, weathermen suck. They're worse at their job than, some handicappers out there.
Oh, yeah.
They're like 30%. They don't get fired. So we'll see what happens there. Let's talk about this baseball slate from yesterday. Some action. Some great playoff baseball. Some crazy shit going on. The Philly-Atlanta over was free. Absolutely free. Good read on that. And we're going to talk about the game today. Have a feeling we might be on the same side on that one too. Again, might be a similar side. Yeah. And then Houston-Seattle, I mean, Yordan Alvarez, holy fucking shit. That dude got up there. I mean, as soon as he swung the bat, I knew that ball was fucking gone. It was the craziest thing. I mean, the ball just disappeared. Absolutely disappeared. He hit an absolute rocket. Looks like he might be locked back in again, which is huge for that team, right? We know he's a little bit streaky. He looked locked in yesterday, at least. That was your typical manager trying to do too much for Seattle there, and he got burnt. I mean, Seattle's got a good bullpen, right? They have that corny-ass nickname, the Firefighters or whatever. They've been pretty damn good this season, although they have been a little bit shaky towards the end of the year. And you're pulling out Robbie Ray out of the bullpen on 3 days rest when he's never done that, and he doesn't have good numbers against Yordan. I thought that whole thing was fucking weird. And I'm sure you did as well, but that absolutely blew up in the Mariners' faces. And now, when they had hopes of potentially winning the series against a team that I think you and I both think is winning the whole thing, now they're kind of screwed. And now they're back 1-0 and really in a tough spot here with only, 4 games left potentially in this series. So, they really let that one slip out of their hands. And honestly, whenever I see teams, underdog teams like that, kind of melt away an opportunity to take a lead, take an edge on a better team, and they fold like that, sometimes it's just kind of the end of their run. So you could kind of see Seattle keel over and die here after that one. I mean, they were putting it on Houston in that first half. They were dominating them. They were celebrating. They were getting hype. And then all of a sudden, Houston comes back and fucking wins in the last couple innings, and you have no energy, right? So that game was absolutely bonkers. The Yankees-Guardians game, fuck Cal Quantrill. That guy blows. He got lit up. He ate an L. He stinks. Happy to see him finally lose. That was awesome. And I had their TT under, which was great too. It was a win-win. Didn't even have to root for the Yankees. Just got to root against the Guardians. And honestly, was rooting against the Yankees at times too. It was awesome. So that game went well. And then last night, we sneaked it over. I don't know if you actually ended up playing that one or not, but that game went over barely. I mean, we didn't get runs in the last 4 innings. And I think that game could kind of go like that today. I think the game today might go under. We'll get to that. But last night, shout out Clevenger. He did the Lord's work for the boys last night. I mean, he got absolutely teed up. Yeah. Bad read on my part, trying to fade Urias. Although he did give up a couple. I think he still hit his fantasy score, though. Did he still hit it?
I'm not sure.
Let me check.
I could assume so.
Let me check. Actually, he did not hit his fantasy score, so I did hit some prize picks yesterday. Sure, we can. Yeah. But Aaron Judge got me. I took his under runs. That was a dumb fade Judge play. Shouldn't have taken it. He didn't hit his total bases or his fantasy, I don't think, but he hit his fucking run prop, of course. So that threw a wrench into things. But yeah, Urias only had 30 fantasy points last night, so that was free.
Yeah.
Okay. That game was absolutely electric. Let's talk about these games today briefly. We're going to go into them a little bit deeper towards the end of the show, I think. But real quick, for people trying to get their bets in, Philly, Atlanta, we're taking the over in this game, right?
I mean, yeah, I got to. Like 7 to 7.5. We talked about that. I think it was with the first game too. I mean, 7 to 7.5 is a big deal in the playoffs, and I know we just saw a ton of runs in that game yesterday, but this is a much better pitching matchup that we're seeing, I think, because I'm not a big Ranger Suarez believer, and I know I'm not necessarily the biggest one in Kyle Wright either, but Zach Wheeler, Kyle Wright on the mound, I think it's shocking to me to see this move 7 to 7.5.
Well, it's the same exact thing that happened yesterday, right? You have the ace on one side, and you have the shithead on the other side that some people think are good. Today, we're getting the same exact thing. We got the Wheeler, who's kind of an ace. I mean, the dude's a fucking stud, of late at least. And then you got Kyle Wright, who's a sneak turkey tosser in the waiting. So I think it's the same exact script from yesterday. Same script from Urias Clevenger last night, where that game went over too. I think we keep rolling with it, and we take the over in this one as well. I think Kyle Wright could get exposed here, and Philly could honestly go up 2-0. I want nothing to do with the Braves. Nothing.
Yeah. Shout out Trent, too, for this. This was funny. Good for him. I don't know if it mattered for anything because I think he put it with something, but he was texting me last night about what the POD was, and I told him to take the over before I went to 7.5, and apparently he placed a 11.5 on the Olsen home run.
That's sick. Fuck yeah. I think we just get offense again today in this game. I think the Braves could get to Wheeler potentially. That stadium's about to be rocking, and I think Kyle Wright's just not that guy, and Philly's hot offense is going to get to him again today.
Yeah, and I mean, I looking at the board for this too, like I would assume it has something to do like length related because of the playoffs.
He took it with the Knights spread.
That's right. Brutal. I know he took it with something. But I mean, I assume it's got to be something length related to these guys, but Zach Wheeler and Kyle Wright not even sniffing 30s in their fantasy scores is really weird to me.
How about Kyle Wright and Zach Wheeler not even having an earned runs prop up?
They don't. Yeah, they have no earned runs. They have both of the first inning, the Nerfy and the first inning hits. It's available for this game, but not for the Dodgers game. So I mean, it's a little weird. The strikeout lines being maybe a tad lower, that kind of tells me maybe that it's a little more quick leash related than them just getting lit up. But it's strange.
Well, I think the Braves will definitely have a quick leash today. They can't afford to go down too low. So if Wright gets lit up early, I mean, he might be coming out of this game, plain and simple.
Yeah, that, and then I don't know how the length is going to be on Wheeler, being that he just pitched. So it's kind of what's giving me.
He pitched on Saturday, didn't he?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
He
pitched on Saturday.
Not short rest, but
it's definitely short rest still. It's 4 days.
Not as incredibly short.
Yeah. Like he could throw 100 pitches today if he absolutely had to. It's the playoffs, but I mean, ideally he's throwing 80 pitches today, 90 pitches today, Yeah.
And this too.
Probably 90.
He's pitched really well against the Braves.
Bro, I like Philly today. I do. I can't decide if I want to take this over. I think I like the over better. Or if I want to play, take a risk here and take Philly. No chance Philly wins the first 2 games of the series, right? No fucking chance. I like what I'm seeing out of this lineup. I really do. And I like what I saw yesterday, just putting together hit after hit after hit. Castellanos is getting hits with no bad news out in the world, which is a rare W for him. That lineup's coming together, man. I mean, we knew they could hit.
Yeah.
And if Wheeler can go in here and pitch well like he has against the Braves pretty much his whole fucking career, they're in trouble today.
I think so too. I mean, anytime I'm betting the Phillies, I'd probably say I'd feel more comfortable going first 5 with that bullpen. But
Phillies to win the series is -170.
Jeez.
Holy smokes.
I mean, that's a lot, but at the same time, it does involve a Wheeler and Nola start. So I get it.
I mean, they set themselves up really nice though with that win yesterday.
Oh, really nice. That's a massive win. Massive win.
Yeah.
I do really like Bryce Harper's matchup today, though.
Really?
Yeah. I want to probably take something him related because, I mean, it's a guy who throws primarily curveballs, which Bryce crushes. He's hitting like 300, slugging 500 plus. But I know that Kyle Wright's kind of approach to him has changed a little bit as we've seen him pitch to him throughout the years. He attacked him with a lot of changeups. Which Bryce also crushes, like 5-run value. He's been sending them more to the opposite field lately, which is huge, clearly against righties. Seeing them better, sitting on them better. And I really like the matchup for a lot of the guys around him too. Like I think Rhys Hoskins has a good game too. So I definitely want to take something Bryce Harper today. And I'm waiting to see, I guess we're kind of pushing it, but waiting to see if they put up any run and RBI props up because whenever they put Bryce up, it's been damn near automatic. So
wow,
if they don't put that up, I will probably do that little 1.5 hits runs RBI.
Okay. Damn, I hate that square, but I'm okay to ride with it if the matchup's really good. And I'm always down to tail Harper. I still root for Harper. I don't have a choice. I wish I didn't like him, but I do. He's an absolute swag hound, and he's awesome.
Yes.
So he's cool. All right, what about San Diego and LA? What are we feeling in this one? I kind of like the under in this game. After we saw yesterday go over, but we saw runs kind of cut off there at the end. And I think that might lead into today. I think Yu's going to go out there and shove. I think the Padres are also a live dog today. I like both the dogs. And I think if you took both dogs today, you're probably going to go 1-1. I really do think so. And I might end up even doing that. But I want to take the under in this one. I think Kershaw is going to go out there and be playoff Kershaw and be decent enough. I mean, the Padres lineup, they've gone ghost mode at important times this whole second half of the season. I could see it happen again today. And then I think Yu is absolutely locked in, and that narrative of him being bad on the road is absolutely caked. That's done. The dude's having a career year, and he's really fucking good. And I think he shoves again today. What are we thinking about this game?
I mean, let me ask you, though, because this was my initial reaction. I know it's moved down since then.
Okay.
But don't you think it's a little weird that the way that Darvish has been pitching lately, and I guess the way that Kershaw has been pitching lately, I know it's the playoff Kershaw narrative or whatever, but he's pitched really well. He's pitched really well against the Padres in his couple starts this year too.
Mm-hmm.
Why did this total open up at 7.5?
Yeah, and let me make sure it actually opened up at 7.5 because I'm seeing that on action as well. But I want to check the line history on that stamp. Let's see.
I mean, I know
it is two dynamic lineups coming, after an over in the late night game to two teams people like taking overs in, but I agree with you. I agree with that comment. It's definitely opening up at 7.5. See, I'm seeing DraftKings open up at 7, but it was juiced to the over.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, opening up at 7.5, which is where the game with Urias and Clevenger settled at the end of where that closed. That's a little weird to me.
You're not wrong.
Runs yesterday, but I mean the line was 7.5 before the game one even started. So
you're not wrong. Caesars opened up at 7.5. BetMGM opened up at 7.5. WinBet opened up at 7.5. Damn. Yeah, definitely weird.
So
definitely weird.
With it moving down, I'm not like jumping at taking the over. It's definitely giving me some hesitation.
Yeah, I am seeing on Visson though that there's more bets and handle barely on the over, and that line has gone back down to 7. So
okay,
that's interesting. That might kind of just cancel out. That line opened up at a weird number, but
yeah,
that's definitely concerning. I agree with you on that. Yeah, with how well you has looked, I mean, he just had an absolute gem in the postseason a couple of days ago, and how good Kershaw's looked of late, and Kershaw's stats against his team, and it's Kershaw, right?
Yeah,
I agree. It's definitely opening up a little high for sure.
Well, the one thing that I guess I do kind of, I don't know if it makes me lean towards the under or what. I guess it would make me lean more to the under everything. Do you see where the Dodgers line is sitting? The money line?
Yeah, it's in that danger zone.
It is. And that, I mean, that definitely makes me lean the Padres, and it makes me lean Yu Darvish pitching well, which I think the Padres can score runs off of Kershaw, but if they win this game with Darvish pitching a gem, I don't think they're going to go out there and put up like 5 or 6 against Kershaw by any means. So that would probably be a little more aligned with the under.
Okay. Good point. I mean, who do you think wins these 2 games?
I'd say the Braves pull it out late. I mean, I'd say the Braves pull it out late. If I had to pick an underdog to win, it would probably have to be the Padres.
Wow. Plus 165. Juiced. That's juicy, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Juicy.
But, I mean, I honestly may be looking at some Dodgers squares anyway, which they're not, I guess, not incredibly mutually exclusive, because like there's the big stolen base problem with Yu Darvish is very well known at this point, and not just taking them because of that, but it's a big part of the equation, especially when we have a guy who's seeing the ball really well, like a Trey Turner, like a Mookie Betts is very capable of doing. Like
Trey Turner's locked in.
Yeah, I mean Trey Turner, I have no problem taking that guy to do anything right now. I will gladly take him, especially when the stolen base is damn near automatic.
We should take his over 7 fantasy score then.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay. I could get behind that. I mean, I've seen that guy hit for years, and he's locked in right now. I mean, I could tell last night by his at-bats. He's seen the ball great. Not a hot take. He had a home run and a double. So, dude's locked. Yeah. Dude's locked. I mean, he's one of the best hitters in the league. He's one of the best players in the league. He's still underrated, in my opinion. I'd rather have him than Lindor. I'd rather have him than Correa. Is he the best shortstop in the league at this point?
Just
Trey Turner? He just might be. I really do think so, and he's about to get the bag. And I cannot believe we let him slip. He was the one guy that really wanted to actually stay in DC. And he's the one guy we didn't even give the time of day to. Disrespect. Yep. Absolute disrespect. Well, we have our guy, Chelly, coming on here soon. Before he does, though, I wanted to talk about Adam Wainwright, who had a fire tweet earlier. He's taking blame for the Cardinals getting knocked out. And you really never see this from people in 2022, taking blame and biting the bullet and eating it for the squad. And I respect the fuck out of it. That's why I wanted to show this to you guys. Not going to read this out loud. Pretty much, I'll give you guys the cliff notes. He was saying that he got nailed in the knee and it fucked up his stride length and really made him kind of overreact throwing wise. And that's why he was so inaccurate of late. And he's saying it was kind of my fault. Like right here, he said, let me say this. It's my fault. He didn't stay diligent enough with his film work to catch it immediately. And he feels bad. Saying he kind of had dead arm there because his arm was overcorrecting for his shorter stride. And he's saying the end of the season, should have went different. And who knows what would have happened if he was locked in, and he feels bad for the fans. I fucking love this guy. I absolutely love Adam Wainwright. don't even care that he fucked up and didn't catch this earlier. For him to come out like this and then say this when he didn't have to, and I'm sure the Cardinals would have been happy to sweep this right under the rug. They wouldn't give a shit. It's Adam Wainwright. He's a Hall of Famer. Respect. Yeah. He's a good fucking dude, and there needs to be more people like this in the world. When people like to just hide and hide behind keyboards and not fucking own up to shit. Shout out Adam Wainwright for being an actual fucking grown-up. I respect the living shit out of him, even though his arm kind of did fall off at the end of the season. I respect him. Something else I wanted to talk about was Devontae Adams getting a misdemeanor assault for this fucking video. We talked about it yesterday, Jovan, and I was saying this guy's about to get the bag. I didn't think he was actually about to fucking get the bag.
Yeah.
Like, you're telling me this guy right here, who literally you see him totally fine and getting up, like, how could he have actually gotten hurt from this? I don't understand. Maybe I'm wrong. The guy got pushed. He's literally getting up right here. If he was actually hurt, wouldn't he be like on the fucking ground, like grabbing his back or neck or some shit? He's literally getting up and he's just fucking eating this. He went to the hospital apparently and he's suing him. He's about to get absolute bread. Fuck this camera guy. He's soft as shit for that. I take back everything I said yesterday. I cannot believe he's actually taking this route. The dude is fine, but he's about to get the bag. And hey, I guess it's more power to you, but I was like joking yesterday, like he's about to get the bag. He literally is suing the dude, and he's kind of a bitch for that. So
yeah,
wanted to say that too.
100%.
Kind of a bitch.
Yeah,
kind of a bitch. I need to text this link to Shelly, I think. What do you think about that though, dude? The guy literally got up right away. Like what?
Yeah, I mean it's super soft. Like I mean to a degree, like can't blame him for getting the bag, but like if that happened to me, I wouldn't even be able to like show my face. So like saying that I sued an NFL player for pushing me to the ground. That is,
I know, and I get it. Like he's about to get free money for doing this, but like it's just so soft.
Yeah, it is.
I really can't believe it. I mean, he literally shoved the guy over and who got up right after, and he was really that hurt. He had to go to the hospital. I don't get it. Maybe he is hurt. I don't know. Yeah, didn't look like it to me.
Yeah, like I'd do something like Juju was saying. Like give me a deal. Give me a deal like an Aaron Judge baseball deal. Just give me some tickets.
Let's take this off the books, right? We don't have to bring the law into this.
Yeah, give me some tickets. Give me
we don't need to bring the police into this. Let's settle this like men, right? Yeah. You fucked up. We know I could probably get a couple thousand out of you. Let's throw a couple thousand in my pocket and let's get some seats to the next game. Maybe a picture, maybe a signed football. I feel like that's right up his alley. The whole thing is just ridiculous.
Yeah,
absolutely ridiculous. Right. It's some participation trophy type shit. It really is. It really is. I wanted to check on these lines that we were talking about on Monday.
Yeah.
When we were saying, let's check these lines and see where they are now. So let's go ahead and peep it. I did an update yesterday. The only one that moved was Florida State, and I ended up locking that in yesterday at 4. So now it's at 3.5 on all the books. So I'm happy I locked that in. I hope you guys did too. If you like that bet, I'm already locked in on Florida State +4, and now it's 3.5 on every book. So I'm stoked. Shelly, your camera's being sus. Figure it out, dude. Figure it out. Let's go over these games. Let's see if these lines are moving at all. So Florida State, like we just talked about, that was one of them. That's at 3.5 on every book now. So I hope you took that. We were talking about it. TCU is now -4. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. I was talking with the Jen in his space about it, and I think the move, like I think it's still 3.5, a good amount of places too, but it's at 4, you're starting to scratch the surface of that like non-money line price, like at the point where people don't want to take, -190, pushing 200. So I think it's a pretty big deal.
Okay. I don't disagree. I'm pulling up the game to see what the odds are at on the books. Give me 1 second. Yeah, you could still get 3.5 on half the books. You're right. But it is starting to move for sure.
It is. It's on
half the books. It's at 4. So it's on the move.
I did also. I was literally just scrolling through TikTok yesterday, and I went on somebody's live, and he was doing polls for every single game. He was a big betting guy with a bunch of followers, and he was doing polls in every game. And it said 80% of the people in that live voted for Oklahoma State.
Wow. That's a W.
Yeah. And then
thank you for noticing that and telling me. That's good. That makes me feel good about TCUs.
Yeah, some of the guys on VSiN that are very public bettors that DeGen said he likes to fade all on Oak State as well.
Interesting. I mean, the 13th ranked team laying 4 points on the road against a better ranked team and just a better team overall. You know, people love this Oklahoma State squad.
Yeah.
Give me TCU anyways, no matter where the line's moving.
I was saying too, though, I do think their defense gets a lot of shit. And I guess somewhat rightfully so, but I think they're better than they've shown. But at the same time, Oklahoma State, I don't want to call this like a system, but whenever I look to fade them in the middle of a season, it's always after they play really close with a team like a Texas Tech who kind of gives a good offense, like TCU kind of operates in the same way. They give them the blueprint. And then they come out the next week and they lay an egg. This exact scenario happened 2 years ago, I think. 2 years ago, Texas Tech played them very close in a shootout game, and they came out the next day or the next game at TCU, laid an egg. Spencer Sanders was horrible. I think there's going to be more of the same.
I'm in. And let me know when I go over these if you've already locked stuff in. Like, have you locked in Florida State or TCU yet?
I have only locked in TCU. That's the only college football bet that I have locked in.
What did you get?
2.
Okay. Wow.
Well, that was
going to bet
like
anyways.
Let's just say it wasn't a very conscious bet. We locked it in literally before the Kansas game was even over.
Okay. Yeah, you were going to bet it anyways.
Yeah, so, I was. So okay. I was like, you know what? I figure it's not going to move down, so why not?
Okay. All right, let's see Utah. Looks like Utah is – they're -3 on some books now. Well, one book, FanDuel, but they're slow as shit to react. So they're still -3.5, but they're definitely not moving towards Utah at this point. If anything, it's probably going to move towards USC, which, you know, with them going to have all the money on them, not really that shocking, right?
Yeah, you know, I almost kind of like that.
Really?
Because I'm from this game, I think DeGen, I was listening to his base too. I think he feels the same way. It feels very obvious, and it feels like the UCLA spot from last week. So if it's in the same exact spot, I almost kind of like that because we're not expecting the same thing to happen 2 weeks in a row. So if it's moving towards USC, I'm not really too scared of it.
Okay. And have you locked that one in yet or no?
No. Only TCU. I haven't locked in all of them just because I want to see how these lines move because there's a lot of lines that I want to see how they play out because they're near pretty key numbers.
I'm with you. That's why we're going over this too. Yeah. So let's look at Oklahoma, which we saw on Monday was at 7.5. Well, now they're at 9.
Yeah. And I assume
what news came out, it's because Jaden Daniels is out for the year, right?
Quote unquote. Yeah. I mean, he said no, but I think it's just the fact that he's confirmed out for this game.
Yep.
I will say though, if they get up to 10.5, I might look to play Kansas. I think it might be a little bit of an overreaction. That's more of I would say it's more of a football brain thing than a line thing, just because like Jalen Daniels is great, don't get me wrong, but a quarterback that is more equipped to take down that porous Kansas secondary is probably Justin Bean. So I'm not against laying Kansas if they get above 10 points.
Okay. Oklahoma's rolling with the backup too, though, aren't they?
I think Dylan Gabriel's supposed to be back this week, which is why I think they're favored.
He's about to be back this week. All right, then I'm off Oklahoma. Yeah. I'm off Oklahoma then. God damn it, that was such a good spot.
Well, that's why. That's why they were favored in the first place.
I know. All right, let's look at West Virginia. Fuck, dude, I really want to play Oklahoma this week after getting shut out. Damn it. West Virginia, we saw them on Monday at 3.5. When did they play Friday night?
Thursday, tomorrow.
Holy shit. We saw them at 3.5 on Monday. I think they're still at 3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that line hasn't moved. Any new feelings on that?
No, I'm still pretty set with that one. I think we know what we're gonna get. Yeah, I mean, I think this West Virginia team is just gonna speed Baylor up, which is not good for them. So they're a team that needs to play on their own. They can't really handle speed teams, and this is also the team like 7.5 win total. They're going to have to lose games that they're really not expected to lose, and this line is telling you this very well might be one of them.
It's facts. Okay. All right. Georgia Southern is now getting 11.5 or 12 points on some books. And they were getting 10.5 on Monday. So that line's moving towards JMU. Not really shocking. We're seeing everyone bet on JMU, right? They're ranked for the first time. That line's probably going to move towards JMU.
Mm-hmm.
Do we still like Georgia Southern here? I feel like it's just a must play, but no rush to bet this one because we might end up getting 12.5 come, kickoff.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's definitely not as strong, being that it's not that 10.5 number that I've seen be pretty key. But if it keeps moving up, I don't see much of a difference in me wanting to play this from 11 to under 2 touchdowns. Really, anyway.
God, you can get it on 12.5 on BetMGM right now. Huh?
Yeah.
That's usually a book that moves slower. It's weird.
Interesting.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot of points, man. I think that's just from people nuking JMU because Georgia Southern's terrible and JMU's undefeated and ranked, right? So not really shocking that line's moving. And then 2 more. I want to talk about Tennessee. I really want to play Tennessee still. I'm going to be on them ML small. I'm going to be on them plus 7.5. Line hasn't moved. It opened up at 7. Now it's at 7.5. It's been at 7.5 all week since we talked on Monday. It's still been at 7.5. So I don't really know if this line's going to move much, and I get it. Like, this is a short line. I think a lot of people, Tennessee is going to be a public play. I really don't even care. I'm taking them. They're going to be a public play. I get it. I know you're about to come on and say take Bama. I want Tennessee. I'm sticking true to my football brain here for what I said in the beginning of the season, for what I've said and been seeing, honestly, the last couple of weeks, is that Hendon Hooker is him, and this offense can keep up with Bama. I really do think they can, especially if Bryce Young is coming off of a week absence there, and he still might be a little banged up. And I know that's going to be the narrative. That's why people are betting Tennessee. I don't really give a shit. I think that place could be rocking. And if there's one spot where Bama can fall early on in the season, which they never do, this team never loses early in the season ever, it's here. And it's this weekend in Tennessee. I'm going to be on them. You go ahead and give your Bama pitch.
I mean, there's no Bama pitch. It's just how often do you get a team like Bama in a spot where they're against an incredibly public side? And I know
I'm hip.
Tennessee's good. Tennessee's great. I love them in pretty much any other spot, but this is an opportunity that doesn't come around very often. So I will have to be on Alabama.
Wow. Well, that is your Bama pitch. So,
yeah.
Oh, well, that sucks, but I'm still holding true, and I'm using my football brain. Tennessee's winning this goddamn game. They're winning this game.
All right, fair enough.
They're winning this game. We will see. Plus 8,000 ticket in my pocket. Tennessee go to the college football playoffs. Got to win this game. And then last one I wanted to talk about is Fresno State, which I don't think we talked about them on Monday, but This was me talking about them yesterday. They haven't covered yet, and they are playing San Jose State, who looked like the Chiefs last week. I don't know if you caught that game at all, but their offense was fucking unstoppable. And now Fresno State, who's 0-5 outright and ATS, this team absolutely blows dick. They were only getting 8.5 points. It looks like they're still getting 8.5 points. Some books are only getting 8 now. So that line's actually going the other way with all the money coming in on San Jose State. So I want to take Fresno State. It's gross, I know, but this team has been a decent football program in the past. They're about to be home. San Jose State, it's kind of just like a sell high spot there and buy low for Fresno State. Conference game, I think the state's within a touchdown. Give me the fucking Bulldogs at home. Do you have any thoughts on this one?
I mean, with the line sitting at 8.5, I definitely would lean towards Fresno with that total absolutely soaring down. Especially from the look at it. I think the look at it's down 10 points.
Holy fuck.
But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm running to play Fresno, but
nobody should be.
Yeah,
you should never be running to play Fresno right now.
Over a touchdown dog in a late night game, low total. I can't fault you for it.
Okay. That total is fucking low. That total's low with how good San Jose State's offense has looked. And, I mean, there's been points in Fresno State's games. That total's low. That might be the play, honestly. Okay. All right. Well, those are some of the plays that we've been looking at this whole week. Are there any other ones that you wanted to add that we should be keeping our eye on come weekend?
I mean, I will say DeGen kind of put me onto this too. I was staring at it, then I heard that he really liked it, and we were talking about it for a bit. SMU, I don't think is a bad play at 12.5 because there is not a team that I think is due for more positive regression on offense than SMU. They've had plenty of turnover issues. Like if you look at their stats in every game, like yards wise and yards per play wise, per carry, whatever you want to call it, they're in every game. Then they should be in every game. The real question and the real issue is just Tanner Mordecai throwing the ball to the other team. And this is a Navy team that's very bad and a Navy team that isn't going to really have much to say about forcing him turnovers in the air. So I think with this line and the total too, I like the way that it's moving. I think this could be an SMU kind of flipped game from what we saw against them against UCF. I think they could roll in this game.
Yeah, hate to say it. Honestly, was hoping you were not going to bring that game up. I'm a Navy fan. Grew up in that area. My sister goes there, so I root for this squad. I do follow this team, and they've been playing well the last couple of weeks. So, yeah, it's a sell high on Navy, buy low on SMU. Perfect spot, great contrarian spot. I'm seeing DeGen's already on SMU. Yeah, hate to say it, but I agree. This is definitely a spot where they win this game by 14.
Yeah.
This Navy team is not the Navy team of previous years where they've actually had some talent and been ranked. This team is not it, unfortunately.
No.
They have shown life. They're a well-coached team. They are. But you got to sell high with the squads. I think SMU is going to give them fits. They've got nobody that can cover these receivers and Mordecai. His arm is too talented. He might throw a pick or two, but I still think they fucking cover this game and win.
Yeah, Navy's defense isn't built to stop an offense like SMU's. Like we saw it when they got clapped by Memphis. This is the same type of offense that they're going to see.
Yep.
Rasheed Rice is going to put up. Rasheed Rice is going to look like that Randy Moss meme or picture where he had like 300 yards. He's going to go off.
Wow. Colorado fired their coach. Is that confirmed, Colt? Wow. Colorado is the other team. There's two teams that have not covered a game yet in college football, Jovan. Fresno State and fucking Colorado. They're terrible. And I talked about the other game. I was like, even I don't know if I want to bet Colorado. So they probably will. They'll probably win outright, honestly.
Yeah, I just don't bet Colorado.
I'm in no rush to bet them. I'm in no rush to bet Fresno, and I'm really in no rush to bet Colorado. So they'll both cover. All right. Marwandre, dude, you're an Army guy. Come on. Boo. Beat Army. I need to go to that Army-Navy game. I've never been. I need to fucking go to that. That's going to be sick.
Got to go. Go and take the over.
Got to go and take the over. I've taken the over the last 2 years. I'm just going to keep doubling down, rolling over. So this year I'll have a couple units on it. Yep.
Yeah.
Shit's not going to hit, but I'm going to bet it for sure. All right. We've got, Nick. Let's fucking go, dude. Free. Let's bring on Shelly. Let's talk some NHL. It's going to be quick, but I want him to go through the card, see if there's any props he likes, any leans he's got. I know it's still early, but I need to hear from him that the Caps are going to win or lose today. Let's bring him up. There he is.
Gentlemen.
Good shit yesterday, bro.
Appreciate you. It was a sweat
Never
and a
in
half.
doubts. Never in doubts. I prefer that. I prefer the sweat.
Yeah.
I do.
And I was even watching Degenerate Weekly's live this morning. He's talking about how there was late line movement on the Kings, all this stuff. And I'm like, when I bet NHL, I look at it, sure. I look what the public's on, I look where the money's at, but it doesn't have the final say. I ultimately have the final say, not the money. So that's kind of how I, before I go into any of my picks here, I just don't want, NHL especially because it's such a low bet market compared to other big sports, other major sports. The money is not as important. It still matters, but it's not as important. So
it's the same thing when I bet lacrosse. So that's even more of a less bet market. It's not even close. I'm not comparing the two, but I use my actual brain to bet those games and count those games. For football and some of these bigger sports, you got to look at the numbers and where the lines are moving and stuff like that. But you're right, dude. 100%. I think you use your NHL, you use your hockey brain, whatever the fuck you've been doing. You keep doing
exactly. Right? Once you find like a method that works for you, and like when I go into the lab, like I do the same shit every time. I go through the same steps, same processes, same websites I use. You know what I mean? Everyone has a different way of doing it. So if you find something that works for you, definitely do that. And I'm kind of sticking to my guns here as we start the next season. I mean, shit, man, I've been doing hot start to the season so far, but I mean, this is when you really start to separate yourself from the rest of the pack. Like is it going to stay hot? Is it going to turn cold? What happens here at this point? So,
well, don't do what I did to start out NFL or college football or MLB, honestly, too, where you get out to a hot start and then you start betting every single game, and then the units start,
people start asking for more picks. People are like, "Oh, what's your lean on this?" And then it turns into a play that you're not. Yeah, I 100% agree.
Stay in your zone, quality over quantities.
100%, 100%.
With that being said, why don't we go over every game today and give me a play?
Let's go. Sure. Yeah, no, the 6-game slate today.
Take us to Montreal.
You want to start in Montreal? I was gonna start in Columbus, or I guess they're in Carolina tonight. The Canes are at home against the Blue Jackets. Last minute change, Elvis Merzlikins, who's their starting goalie on the Blue Jackets, actually ill today. So they're turning to a guy by the name of Daniil Tarasov. He's not going to be able to stop this Carolina offense. He's not going to be able to stop them. Okay. The line moved. So after this news came out, the line moved from over 6. I even saw it at 5.5 on some books, to now over 6.5 at minus. Let me make sure I get the right minus 105. All right. Initially, as soon as this news came out, the line went to minus 120, and then it came back down since then because I think people were starting to bet the under 6.5. The Blue Jackets, obviously, that first line with Gaudreau now, Line A, who is in my season-long NHL goal scorer props. I'm pretty high on this Blue Jackets team. I'm not high on them defensively. I think they have one good defensive line, and other than that, they're kind of screwed. The Canes at home, I would say the Canes at home are probably one of the hardest teams in the NHL to beat. With that being said, the Blue Jackets owned the Canes last year. They might even live rent-free. The Canes against teams that they should beat it's always a struggle. They play down their competition in a big way too. They like to play from behind against bad competition because they know that they can get back into it. And it's just very unfortunate. So that's why a lot of people are going to be on this over tonight, especially with that's the third string goalie in for the Blue Jackets.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not even the backup. That's the third string because Korpisalo is also injured, who is their normal backup. So we got a third stringer in for the Blue Jackets tonight. Not how you want to start your season, but there's a lot of hype. Again, just like the Kings last night. I know the Blue Jackets are plus 225 on the road here, but just like the Kings, similar situation. A lot of hype around this team. All right, with the signing Gaudreau. They have probably 2 good lines that they can run through. But the Canes, so deep, one of the deepest teams in the league. You know what? It's tough to come in here and say, yes, the Canes are going to do this confidently. But I wouldn't take any first periods in this. You don't know. I could see the Blue Jackets surprising the Canes at home. Freddie Anderson is going to be starting tonight, which is massive. But if I had to give out a lean on this game, which I'll probably stay off this game, to be honest, there's no value in betting a minus 300 money line.
Yep.
And then I also don't trust the Canes against a Blue Jackets team that's owned them, especially on the first night of the season. I would lean an under. I would lean an under here just because. Yeah. I would lean an under here just because I don't think the Blue Jackets put up. I think we could see like a 4-2 final here.
I like it. Everyone's betting the over after the goalie news, but he's still a professional goalie. At the end of the day, you still got to get pucks in net. You still got to get pucks in deep.
Right? Yeah, and we've seen 4 under so far. We haven't seen one game. Or sorry, yesterday night in the VGK game was the first game to go over. So I mean, shaking off the rust in the first period's a legitimate thing. It sometimes leads to sloppy goals, which is how you get burnt on those first period unders. But like, if a team's good enough, like the Canes, where I would say they're the best team in the NHL defensively. This also, I like the first period under.
Word.
Yeah.
Okay. I can roll with that. I can get with that under. I think it's a little bit contrarian to you, Charlie. I like how we're starting off.
Honestly, I don't even think it's contrarian. I just think that going off how the season started so far, we watched how these teams come out start. Especially, I think my first period under would be a straight bet in this game. But other than that, don't touch the totals. Okay. I could see it going way over in like the second period or something once they settle into the game.
Okay. Awesome. What about Toronto, Montreal? What are we thinking here?
Toronto, Montreal. Okay, so this game is in Montreal, correct? Yes.
Yeah, highest total of the day too at 7.
Highest total of the day. A lot of people are on this over from what I've seen so far. We got Matt Murray coming over from the Senators. He was actually pretty solid for the Sens. He was, I would say, their best goalie last year. And against Jake Allen, who this dude might be like the Jordan Reed of the NHL because he's always concussed.
I've not heard that name in a long time.
I love Jordan Reed, man. He was a beast in fantasy. But no, Jake Allen, like he still might be concussed from last season in all seriousness. Like this dude is he's either letting in 6 or he's pitching a shutout, but the percentage of him pitching a shutout is literally like 5%, I'd say. There's a 5. And against this Leafs offense, like this dude is letting in 4 goals. With that being said, these first 2 Canadian lines especially, really fucking good. Like, do not sleep on Cole Caulfield. I'm going to be taking him anytime goal scorer tonight. Obviously, I'm a little biased on that because I have him in my season-long NHL goal scorer prop. But with that being said, dude, I fucking love Cole Caulfield. I think he's too fast. The Leafs D linemen, and I was talking to Fruity about this, their D linemen are so slow. They're old. They're heavy hitters. Cole Caulfield is one of the fastest skaters right now. He can literally set up Brandon Gallagher. He can set up a lot of Suzuki, literally any guy on his line. He can set them up and he pretty much just skate around them. They're old. They're old. Yeah. So I think that, if I'm going to play anything in this game, we're looking at team totals. All right. I'm not looking at full game overs because there is a chance that the Canadians lose 5-1. 100% chance. There's also a chance that the Leafs don't show up. We've seen that time and time again. Yes, it's the first game of the year, but I would play a team total. I'm looking at the Canadians team total over 2.5. I want to see what there's more value on. I haven't looked at these lines just yet because obviously this is my first kind of run through the slate.
Yeah.
But right now I'm seeing a team total over 4.5 for the Leafs, which is one of the highest team totals I've seen in a minute.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So that's crazy.
You're looking to take Montreal maybe at over 1.5 or 2.5?
If I can get them at 1.5, I'm going to be putting a large play on it. If it's 2.5, it'll be like a 1-unit Johnson for me. I really like the Canadians team.
Cool.
This is a big rivalry. This is always a close game, no matter how you look at it. If you're planning on betting on the Leafs puck line tonight, I am praying for you. This is called a Commanders Cowboys game. This is going to be a tight game. These two teams don't like each other. It's always close when they play. Do not bet the Leafs puck line. This is my warning to you guys.
Word. I absolutely love that. I love that warning.
Fire.
Do not lay fucking -1.5 in this game.
No,
love it.
People are going to do it, but you shouldn't.
Mm-hmm. All right, take me to DC. What do we got tonight?
Corp dog of the day.
Yeah, this is the Corp dog of the day. I've seen a lot of Bruins.
Yeah.
Seen a lot of Bruins today. What's good?
You're going to be really happy.
All right, word.
Caps win this game tonight.
Wow. A lot of Bruins today on my feed, and my feed's not even hockey.
Don't worry about it, man.
Yeah.
Caps win this game tonight.
Wow.
It's going to be rocking in Capital One Arena tonight. It's going to be fucking
that place is
off.
lit.
Darcy Kemper's coming to fucking prove himself. All right. Stanley Cup champion back there. All right.
Yeah.
A lot of fucking pressure to reform for a new team. And guess what? Ovechkin, SOGs. We're going back. All right. Trust.
You're taking it today?
I am taking it today.
Oh, let's go. I'll ride that, obviously.
Yep.
Fuck
it's
yeah.
at 3.5. I absolutely fucking love it.
Okay.
Don't be surprised if the Bruins score first. Do not panic. All right. This is a public dog, a lot of money coming on them, which I pay attention to, but like I said, this doesn't ever sway my pick. I just like to know. To know. I've seen it all over my Twitter feed. Bruins are dealing with a lot of injuries right now. They have guys who are playing through injuries tonight. Ullmark
the season hasn't even started yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You think their locker room's fucking excited to come to Capital One Arena opening night with a bunch of injured guys who some of them playing through injuries, some of them aren't even starting in the game.
Damn, bro.
No, it's tough. It's a tough place to play. One thing to note is no Backstrom tonight for the Caps, which is important. But dude, Brad Marchand's not playing. McAvoy's not playing. Taylor Hall's questionable. If he plays, he's going to be at 40%. Missing another defender. Like Bruins are hurting, man. So we got to be fucking careful here. I love the spot for the Caps at home. One of my friends is going to the game tonight. Who he's gone to, I think, 6 or 7 Caps games. I don't know if you want to fade this trend, but he's never been out of losing game before. I probably shouldn't have told you that because now you fucking hate the play. But he's going
literally,
tonight.
bro.
He's going tonight, and that was the last thing I needed to see before I locked this in. I'm not playing Caps puck line. This could be a tight, low-scoring game. I think Kemper and Allmark have potential to pop off. With that being said, I think this is like a 3-3 OT. Caps win it.
Okay. Yeah, Backstrom might not play this whole year, bro. I'm hearing his hip is absolutely fucked.
Yeah, that shit that shit's Meemaw fucking popped out of place.
Yeah, he might like have to medically retire.
Medically retire.
Seriously, yeah. Like they're saying he might not play this year.
That is crazy. Totals for this game though, 6. You don't touch a 6 in this.
I feel like this is going to be a low-scoring game. I feel like it's going to be a Caps Bruins. They're fucking each other up. Not a lot of pucks in net. If you think
that, Prize Picks, Nerfy on ice, 8 minutes.
Wow,
8 minutes, not 10. 8. All right. So
Did you like that already, or are you just saying that now?
I liked it already because I am liking them starting slow to start the season and a lot of rust to shake off. With that being said, dude, the Capital One Arena is gonna be popping off. Dude, opening night. Have you ever been to opening night in Capital One Arena, Krabs?
Yeah, it's fucking sick. I was looking at tickets today. They're $1 bazillion already.
For good reason, dude. It's fucking. Yeah. It's other than in Carolina. I think it's probably. I mean, from what
it's our best, by far our best fans in DC are Caps fans.
Yep. I would not take Kemper saves. I would not take Kemper saves. I don't know how much offense this Bruins team is going to be able to generate. Their PP is going to be very dangerous if Caps give up PP. I think this Bruins PP is still good even without Marchand, but just keep that in mind. Over-unders at 6. Stay the fuck away. Stay away, Krabs. Stay away. If you're gonna play anything, first period under. Okay.
All right. Why don't you quickly run through these last 3?
Okay. Last 3. See what jersey I have on?
Sure.
Don't touch this fucking game.
How is that jersey? How is that jersey allowed to be rocked, but the fucking Commanders had to change their name?
That's a great. I think that's actually a great question.
Fucking thing.
Yeah,
it is. No, it literally is. That's actually crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I think it's because the word our skin. Like I don't even know if I can say it, but like the Washington Skins.
Yeah.
Like I think that's a derogatory term, and the Blackhawks is like just the name of their tribe. So I think that's kind of what where we're at with that. But anyway. The Blackhawks and the Avs, dude. Don't fucking touch this game. There's a boost on DraftKings. There's a boost on FanDuel for for the Avs puck line.
They're boosting NHL.
Yeah, boosted -150 now to I think it's -105 or +100. Okay, don't touch the shit, dude. We've seen this shit time and time again.
Javon's locking in the Blackhawks. Okay,
dude. Do not touch this shit. The Avs are going to come out slow. I think the Blackhawks score first. Here.
We should take that bet down.
I'm down.
It's definitely plus Chicky.
It's definitely plus Chicky, bro. This Blackhawks team has everything to prove. They're playing for Patrick Kane to stay on the team at this point. All right? You're playing for your fucking best player, your franchise guy, to stay on the fucking team. Are you crazy? You don't think these guys are going to come out fired up against the Stanley Cup champions? What do you think? They're just going to lay down and die night 1? That's actually ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I think they score first. I think we take Avs live, if anything, in this game. But I think that boost even says just enough for me. It says just enough for me. I have seen everybody and their mother on this play. Avs -1.5. How are you taking a -1.5 when you're paying -160 juice?
It's disgusting.
In what world are you fucking paying -160?
That sounds like a VIP. That sounds like a VIP premium platform,
bro. It's unbelievable. Yeah. Teams you fade this year, the Philadelphia fucking Flyers. Teams you try not to fade whenever you can, but yes, they're bad. Yes, Mrazek's in net, all right? But guess who's in the other fucking net? Georgiev. The fucking Rangers backup last year who couldn't stop a goddamn beach ball. This dude is not good, all right? If anything, you're playing an over. You're playing a second period over. You're playing a third period over. You're not touching the Avs -1.5. I'm praying. I know Fruity's going to be on it. I know we're going to have to talk about this on Simbin later. I'm going to have to fucking fight for my life out here, battle my demons. But, dude, I'm very passionate about this because you guys act like this is Kemper net, right? No, it's not. It's Georgiev. Dude sucks. All right. Like, come on.
I'm trying
man.
to find the odds for first team to score.
Oh yeah, it's definitely on there somewhere. Be careful. Be careful.
First goal for the Blackhawks is plus 175.
See, but like you would think that would be higher, right?
I know.
I was expecting some
with
twos at least to come out of his mouth there.
No two in
There's
sight.
a reason for that. There's
One.
a reason for that.
All right, let's fucking sprinkle on that. That's about a hit.
I'm down.
All right, Blackhawks to score first. I can get behind that.
Georgiev sucks, dude. You guys don't understand. This Blackhawks team needs to win a game.
You like the over in the game? Our guy Jen's asking.
The over in the game is pretty juiced. Let me pull up the odds again.
Yeah, 6.5 juice to the over.
So the reason why it's at 6.5, a little bit juicy over, is because they don't think Blackhawks are going to score. I think if you like the over, you should look at a Blackhawks team total. All right. Maybe if you can get it at 1.5, look at a Blackhawks team total 1.5, because if you can get that at better odds.
Over 1.5 is minus 210. That's some wildly fucking POD.
That
shit.
is some, yeah. That's
2.5 is plus 130 though.
Juice. That is some juice.
Mm-hmm.
No, I definitely lean the over in this game. These goalies fucking suck. Okay. Don't overthink it. Don't think about the public. The public's so focused on that Avs puck line, they're not even thinking about an over.
You're right. All right. What about Edmonton? What about Anaheim's?
What was that, Jovan? Sorry.
No, they're all focused on the Kraken today.
Oh,
what was it? Anaheim Kraken?
Yeah, Kraken. Yeah. I mean, I like the Kraken. Like, I think you can give your own spiel on this because you obviously know a lot more than I do. But they're so much of a deeper team this year, which I think is going to be really good for them. But
yep,
they are super public today.
Goalies here.
The Kraken are.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're pushing Bruins.
Yeah. No, the Kraken are good. They got some young prospects in. But Grubauer is still at the helm for that team, which is a little scary. Looked really average, a little below average even, I would say. Last season, they paid a lot of money for this guy to come in and be that guy. And for him to not deliver is, this is – I talked to the owner's son of the Kraken about Grubauer. If he doesn't show up this season, he's gone. Like, he's getting traded, like, early on this year.
Damn, bring it back to the Caps.
Yeah, I don't know if you can get odds on Grubauer to get traded, but we might have some insider information.
Damn, bro, it's like that.
Yeah, this is like he needs to come out and prove himself to this Kraken team, because this Kraken team does have high expectations. Dude, you saw what the Knights did their first year as a franchise. Kraken were fucking ass last year. They were embarrassing.
Well, they traded all their players, didn't they? Didn't they trade all their players and shit to try to build for the future?
They traded a few, but I mean, not all. Like, they still have some vets on that squad. Like, they're still not a completely young team. Like, they still have guys fucking that are gonna fucking come in, and I mean, still have Grubauer, who is a fucking vet. And yeah, dude, I really like this. I really like this Kraken team. For me to say that I'm ready to, oh my god,
sign me up.
For me to come in and say, yeah, Kraken money line, take that shit. Jovan, come on, bro. You know I can't do that. I can't do that in good faith. With that being said, the line is plus 100 for the Kraken, minus 120. So same line as we saw in the VGK LA Kings game. Same. I mean, if you even want to compare both games in Cali, because it's as similar as the lines can get. It's there. The only difference is the over is at 5.5. It's the only over tonight at 5.5. But why is it at 5.5? I don't know. I'm genuinely asking that because I still can't wrap my head around why this is at 5.5. It was at 6 and it came down to 5.5.
With more money on the over as well, which is weird.
I'm sure money's coming in on the over. So if you're interested in reverse line movement, we're seeing reverse line movement here again. If you want to take a first period under, I wouldn't take it here. I would not take it here.
Dude, you're making me want to take the full game under.
I would take something live. I would take a live over under in this game, if anything. But this is not my take me home piece that I want. This is not my take me home under. I promise you, these goalies suck. I mean, Gibby could be really good, like whenever he wants to be. But Grubauer also can be really good whenever he wants to be. It depends what version of these goalies you're going to get tonight. And you don't know. You're not betting on that game one of the year. You don't know yet. So with that being said, I do think both these offenses have a lot to prove. They have a lot of young guys who want to score. They have a lot of young guys who want to make a name for themselves. That's why a lot of people are on the over tonight. But with that being said, you do have still 2 tendies who can be elite when they want to be elite. So I think that's why I just kind of talked through it. I think that's why the over's at 5.5. Again, I probably lean the Ducks at home just because I need to get behind Gibby at home. I need to back him up. And yeah, I mean, this Ducks team has tons of talent. Fruity will tell you all about it. Kraken still very, very young. Still don't know how these lines are going to look together. Yeah. So I think
they're
Ducks have
shiny toys.
Exactly. So Ducks have that experience together, similar to how we took VGK last night. We didn't know how Fiala was going to look on that first line. He didn't look that great last night. But we knew how Eichel was going to come out. We knew how Stone were going to come out, right? We knew how Marchessault was going to come out. So similar situation. Ducks have the experience. Night one, they know how to get a dub. Kraken, I'm too worried about them. Ducks money line.
Okay.
Ducks money line.
And then take us to Edmonton to close this out.
Okay. This is one of my favorite, if not my favorite play of the day. The over-under is at 6.5, right? We got 2 offenses very capable of scoring, especially in the Oilers. We got Jack Campbell going up against Thatcher Demko. Jack Campbell, obviously coming over from the Leafs, was their guy for a decent amount of time. Dude, I really like this under.
This is the take me home piece under.
I don't know if I'm going to play a first period under yet, just because of how good they've been all year. They've been incredible so far, and I think that we don't see much of that trend changing just yet. Maybe couple game weeks in.
Okay.
So I would say like this weekend we might see a lot of first period overs, but for now, this Oilers team and Jovan, it's a -190.
I know. Trent told me the same thing last night. And I was like, I don't know if it translates, but I want to keep an eye on it.
100%. And the Canucks are at home, especially. They're not at home, right? This is in Edmonton, but the Canucks are a team capable of winning any single team that they play. Even playing the Avs, they can play the best team in the NHL. They can compete. All right, that is not a fucking shadow of a doubt in that, because Thatcher Demko will keep them in games single-handedly. The Oilers, coming off what many would call a disappointing regular season, they kind of showed up in the postseason a little bit more, but not enough. Obviously, people have higher expectations for them. But they're at home tonight. Jack Campbell leading at the helm from the back. I really think this goes under. This could be a goaltender duel similar to how we saw Vasi and Igor. I'm not comparing these two to Vasi and Igor. I'm just saying that Canucks know what they need to do to win this game. They need to keep it low scoring. They need to keep control of the puck in their own zone. And they need to keep the Oilers away. They need to keep them out. So I'm looking at a first period under. I do think Oilers come out fired the fuck up at home. Obviously, pretty sad. Last season they had the tragedy of Benny. I'm sure you heard about him. Very, very sad. I'm sure they're gonna be fired up for Benny tonight, because they'll do a memorial for him. So that's a narrative play. If you want to look into the Oilers on the money line, I think it's a decent parlay piece, Jovan. I know, but I do think that this game's a lot tighter than people expect as well.
Okay. All right. Well, that was a lot, and that's what I needed to hear, because I don't know shit about hockey, and I'm trying to get more into it this year.
Yes.
So that's why we need you to come up here and spoon feed some analysis and checking the data, which is fire. Well, I want to take both the unders in the late games. I want to take unders the entire NHL beginning of the season after what we saw last year, to be honest with you.
Guess what? A lot of people like at the beginning of the year to take overs because goalie's shaking off rust. I'm kind of a big guy on taking not first period overs, on full game overs, because goalie's shaking off rust. Last night, if we're looking at that VGK LA game, I would say that Quick had 45 saves last night. I mean, that's not shaking off the rust. That's start picking up and starting right back where you left off in last year's playoff. Yeah. Locked in. We saw the same thing with Vasi. Same thing with Igor. I know these are the best goaltenders in the world, but wow, man, these guys look locked in. They know. I think they came prepared. I think preseason prepared them very well. yeah, I really, really think that we see a lot of first period unders. I think it's more getting adjusted to your line in that first period, getting adjusted to the line you're playing against in that first period, and then kind of just going through from there. That's why we've seen tons of second period overs this year already. We're going to see even more second period overs this year. First period unders are going to be brilliant this year. But like I said, when you're playing a first period under, when you're playing a nerfy on ice, right? Be fucking careful. Sloppy mistakes will happen. These guys haven't played in a real live NHL game in about 3 months. Like, just be careful, man. You got to be careful.
It's fucking opening day, right? All these teams haven't played yet, so just be careful in general. Honestly, probably shouldn't be betting more than a unit on anything. So,
no,
I'm with you, Jelly. I appreciate you coming on, my dude, and absolutely spoon feeding some data, some analysis.
And I have props. I absolutely love. I don't know if you want me to run through any of them. The line, like as soon as I say them, I'm like worried that PP is like.
Why don't you wait and put it? Why don't you tell the people on your show and also let the people know when Simbin is today?
Okay. Simbin today is at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yesterday I gave out my free square of the day, and it got taken off immediately. Yep. So pretty early. So just make sure that if you want to get the play locked in, you're listening to Simbin, you're following along. It's a dog eat dog world. They're trying to make money. We're trying to make money. So we just got to work together and get this shit done.
Any trips to Finland this morning?
This morning, no, dude. I was actually up until like 2:33 a.m. editing videos and shit after my stream. So like I didn't even. And then I'm just locked in on NHL right now. I'm not gonna lie, dude. Sure. It's really tough to be locked in for 2 different slates. I don't even know how you guys do it with NFL, MLB. I don't know how you guys do that shit, man. Like I need to be like literally immersed in the lines over here. Like I need to be one with the fucking line. You know what I mean? So
yeah, you are one with the lines, and we're off to a great start, Shelly. So guys, go check out Simbin today, 5:00 Eastern time. He's gonna give his props. When he gives them out, the lines are gonna move. So go fucking check that out. Get your phones ready and get ready to lock these puppies in because that shit's about to get taken down. But if you get it in, that shit's about to be great. Jelly, obviously, appreciate you coming on as always. Let's hit some bets today.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Look for those.
Go ahead.
What do you got? I was just saying, look for those team total overs. Look for those first period unders where they make sense. Those are hitting. Those are hitting a lot.
For sure. Yeah. For sure. That's a crazy placement for a Finland flag there, bro. You're bringing baddies home and you're taking them to Finland too. Holy shit.
I'm literally in Finland and I don't even have a Finland flag, bro. Like,
yeah, the Finland flag. I'm about to get shelves built up. Fruity's building my shelves for me because I literally am not handy whatsoever. So
hey, you focus on the lines. All right, we'll get those shelves figured out.
Also, 2-0 this year on jersey plays. This is not a jersey play, by the way. But 2-0 this year, whatever I wear on Surgical Stream, I'm making a thing. Whatever jersey I wear on Surgical Stream, that team's winning. I haven't decided. I don't even have my Ducks jersey in the mail yet. So I might be wearing a Caps jersey. We'll see. We'll see.
All right, you're breaking the jersey curse one day at a time.
Already. Let's go. We're reversing it.
Rock the red tonight. Let's go Caps.
Let's go Caps. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir. Peace, beast. Fucking dog. Absolute dog. All right. So I might be taking those 2 unders tonight in those hockey games and just rooting for no fun. No goals, no fun, no offense.
You and me both.
How about it? Give me both and give me the Caps today. Wow. I'll take it. I mean, the Bruins, I could already tell they're a public dog. All the money's coming in on them and the line's moving towards the Caps too. How about it? Does Ovi have one more run in him? That is the question. He might have a couple because he's literally a fucking robot. He's not even a human. He's not a fucking human. All right, we got about 10. Let's dig back into these baseball games. There's got to be some squares for the people, for the culture.
Yeah, I mean,
no. Is this a core play or is this just normal play? Let me know at least.
There's definitely a bet 99 boost on it, so it's
probably
caked. Probably caked. As far as squares go, like I like Bryce Harper, like I was talking about. Everything lines up for him. I know you don't like particularly that category, but I'll be taking a stab at it today.
Yeah. What about so we're seeing Kyle Wright as a favorite here today, but Zach Wheeler is projected way more fantasy. Well, not way more, but he's projected 24. Wright's projected or 27, and Wright's projected 24, less than him as the favorite. Could be some strikeout stuff, could be a length thing, right? Like we talked about. But Do you think taking any of these guys under scores today would be a decent look?
It might be. The thing with Kyle Wright too, and they're kind of playing for him in the postseason. It's not just the fact that he's going to go like a shorter length or anything, but like the quality start, I think, is also a lot less likely than it is for Zach Wheeler, because he pretty consistently goes 5 innings. He very rarely has been touching 6 recently, so I think that's a part of it as well. Even if he were to go out there and pitch really well, which I think will be okay today. I don't think he gets blown up by any means, but I think he'll give up a couple. So I want to. There's not a fantasy score type thing that's screaming at me.
Okay, I still kind of want to take Kyle Wright's under fantasy score. I just think he's about to get blown up today.
I mean, yeah, it's not that I dislike it. I don't think it's too
You're
weird.
Saying it's not fishy. Yep.
Yeah,
not
yeah.
fishy.
I think it's a fine play.
Okay.
I'd say maybe Yu Darvish is a tad low, if anything, but it's not one that's particularly screaming at me either.
Okay.
So there's nothing crazy on the pitchers, I'd say today. The fact that he is still laying that 2 earned runs, which I know he had last start when he dealt against the Mets, still a little strange that they're giving them that.
You think it's strange that there's the only nerfy up today is the Braves and Phillies again?
Yep, 100%.
You think that's a little weird?
Yeah, I think we see some more early runs in that game. I wouldn't be shocked at all.
I'm throwing that.
As far as some other squares, I was kind of looking at Max Muncy. Doesn't fare really well. It's not really a deep play, but he's up for half total base. Hasn't really fared well against Yu Darvish. He's 5 for 25 lifetime, and he's leading in home run outs today, which is very strange. I don't think I've seen him up there leading very often. And when a guy is ahead of Manny Machado, especially against a lefty, it's pretty telling. He's not only ahead of Machado, he's ahead of everybody in the Dodgers too, which is big. So it's something that was a little weird to me, for sure.
Max Muncy. He's up for a half total base, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Huh.
He's up for half total base. Another guy that is up for half total base is Austin Nola, which I've been trying to look at ways to kind of fade the obvious strikeout picks in the hitter strikeouts category, which he's also up for that today. But he's sneakily been okay. And against Kershaw, who I think is going to give up a couple hits today, I don't hate that one bit.
Dude, I meant to bring this up too. The bottom of that lineup for the Padres has been carrying the team. Kim, Nola, and who was the other guy who's been carrying them at the bottom of the lineup?
Trent Grisham.
Is it Grisham? Those 3 guys have been carrying this team. I don't see Grisham up for anything today, which is interesting. You think that's a little weird?
Nah, he's usually like they give him the occasional half total base, but he's not really up for much ever.
Kim is up, Nola is up, both for half TBs. Dude,
I will say like I'm trying to do with Austin Nola. I mean, it's only been what a day or two, but the 2 very obvious strikeout picks in this category yesterday both went yard.
Eugenio went.
Eugenio and then Harrison Bader. So I think the only obvious pick would probably be Austin Nola. I guess Justin Turner too, with as much as he strikes out. But it's funny too because they have the like the little green things for it. So that looks very enticing for guys like Justin Turner to strike out every single game.
Bro, Justin Turner in the playoffs though turns into fucking Barry Bonds.
He does.
He leads the Dodgers in like all their postseason categories, right? He's
it's even better. Even better.
I'm super down to take his under strikeout today and just pray. Just pray that you doesn't get him out on a nasty fucking slider or something.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much I've been on fading a strikeout, but I mean, for a guy like him who doesn't have anything else up, like I could very well see him just going yard today, keeping the trend alive.
Okay. Damn, bro. Okay. Yeah, I got bamboozled on the Eugenio Suarez over 1.5 strikeouts yesterday. They got my ass. They got my ass on that. It is what it is.
Became corporate.
That was pretty corporate, man. I'm not gonna lie. That was Pete.
Yeah, it was like me and Pacheco. Got corporate throughout the day, and
that was the worst prop ever.
Long and missed.
That was the worst prop ever.
Worst. The absolute worst.
Peter's texting me. Okay. It's like, bro, you know I'm on this fucking show right now. He knows he's been on here 100 times.
Yeah, unreal.
And good for Peter for going to see Cal Quantrell lose in person. Good shit, Peter. If you're watching this, which you're not, clearly, with that text. Thank you for going in person to witness that. Thank you. Never thought I'd say this. Thank you, Yankees. Yeah. Thank you. We appreciate your service. Taking out Cal Quantrell. If I hear one more person talk about Cal Quantrell being elite, my brain is gonna literally explode in my head. So thank you, New York. Never thought I'd say that in a million years. A rare Yankees W.
Very
and you know what? I think the Yankees might do it this year. Wouldn't be shocked. They're due. I said this months ago when they were on a roll. It's their year. It's good for baseball. We'll see. I mean, their bullpen's fucking atrocious. I don't know what they're going to do with that. But it's the Yankees, and it'd be very good for the MLB if they make it to the World Series. At least just make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, like, Peter did make a great point. Not that it's like the hottest take or anything, but if Garrett Cole, never been a bigger Yanks fan, but if Garrett Cole can pitch like Garrett Cole should pitch, the rest of the team can fall in place. Like if he's going out and giving them a guaranteed seven innings, 1 run in a game, they're going to win games. And I mean, shout out, like I will probably be on Nestor tomorrow too. I think it's a great matchup, and he's certainly been pitching well, and he really is going to fare well against that Guardians lineup. So if Garrett Cole can pitch well, the rest is going to fall in place for that team. So they're going to be scary.
Damn. You want to fade the Biebs after throwing a fucking gem? I might be in.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
I might be in.
It's honestly less of a Bieber fade and more of backing Nestor, as gross as that is for me to say out loud.
Yeah, but I hate it. Hate everything about it, but it's the Guardians, so we get
Guardians are not good against lefties, and if there's a team that cannot take advantage of Nestor's slight little home run issue, it's going to be the Guardians, because they don't have power from really anybody except Jose Ramirez and then Josh Naylor, who's probably not going to be in the lineup. So I just don't see them doing much off of
Well, good, because every time I fade the Guardians, Josh Naylor turns into fucking Bryce Harper. Yeah. Literally.
100%.
Dude owns me. Are we locking in this over in Atlanta?
Where's it at? Let me see. So I want to make sure, because I think it's kind of hanging around the -120 to the under. So I want to wait and see if it goes down.
On BetMGM, it's -120 to the under. Same with FanDuel. And those are the two slowest moving books, at least from what I've noticed in Virginia. The other books, -118, -116, -110. Wynn's got it at under 7 at +110. What the fuck? So BetMGM and FanDuel move slow, which tells me it is going to move. And those numbers will probably be going away. And it'll probably end more like -110-ish on both sides, I think.
Okay.
So that's my guess. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll see. I want to wait.
Keep me posted.
Yeah. I want to wait and make sure that it stays at 7.5.
That's fine. Let's wait it out. All right. I do think the Phillies win this game, guys. I really do. Might just play the over instead. But I'll tell you what, I'm on the Yurfie in it again. I think we're going to get an early run again. I'm on that too. A little sus. That's the only Nerfy up. Interesting. Yeah. I'll be on that again for the Yurfie. And Trent will take us home. Craft up a parlay today. He doesn't have much to choose from, but I trust him. And then stay posted on that college football game tonight, guys. We need to monitor the weather, but we might be on the over on that one too. I don't hate that one bit, Javon.
100%.
All right, my dude. Chad, happy fucking Wednesday. We're out here. We got games to bet on. No excuses. Units will be deployed responsibly. Follow us on Pickets. Trent, take us home, my man. 3-1 day yesterday from the Crab. Let's keep the momentum going in the playoffs. That's been hitting.